Hi, I'm Madison from 101.1 Blue Wave Radio, and we're here to talk to you about a project that we've created called Operation Max Wave. As you know, there are a lot of families on this island. They do a lot of hard work, and what a lot of people don't know is what these families have to go through just to keep their kids in school. So, as Blue Wave Radio has been around and broadcast 24/7, we have the ability to put a message out all the time. And Kyle came up with an idea based on something that we knew and worked with in San Diego, California. So I'm going to turn it over to Kyle.
Thanks, Madison. Yeah, it was actually Toys for Tots, something that has been around as long as I've been around, as long as I can remember, in San Diego. And the thought occurred to me that, we've, as Blue Wave Radio, we've helped out dogs, cats, the reef. Let's focus on Roatan's most precious asset, the children. And that's when I came to you with this idea, and I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
Okay, so tell us how you brought Max Shipping into it.
Well, I'm very good friends with Chad, the owner, and it's funny because he kind of had the same concept and idea. His heart is in Roatan, even though he lives up in Florida, and he can't stand the sight of children here running around with no shoes. Some families don't have electricity or running water, and he and I kind of collaborated on this when I was up in Miami a few months ago, and here we are. So they've agreed for this whole program to ship everything down free of charge.
So we talked to a bunch of different people about what they needed. And originally we thought, hey, it'll be great to have a toy drive. And then as we got into it, we realized that if families want to get ahead, the best thing they can do is get their kids a really good education. And the good thing about Roatan is that compared to the rest of Honduras, the per capita income here allows a little bit more disposable income. But then Russ pointed out something that I thought was very important as part of this was put together, and that is that the holiday season falls just a month and a half, or even less, than the start of the school year. So Russ, explain that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So we had that conversation, as we were all brainstorming to Kyle's idea. And, Christmas is right there, December 25th. Well, most of these kids go back to school the first week of February. And that is a really tight time for families, especially hardworking families right around the holidays. And then to your point, Kyle brought up a great point. A lot of times, if you don't have money for a uniform even, your kids don't go to school. And if you think about that, they got to have all the other things that go with it, books, pencils, you name it, teaching guides, teaching aids. Now as well, uniforms, and all that within about a 6-week period, multiplied by 2 or 3 children per household. That's a lot of money and a lot of stress that we really don't want those kids having to go through our holiday season with. So let's do it. Let's reach out. So, Kyle's idea was brilliant. And I love the way he put it. We're asked constantly to help everybody on this island, but for whatever reason, we never did anything for children. So let's go.
Now, one thing that you and I all 3 of us discussed was the problem that parents have when they've got to choose between paying for water and food versus buying paper and pencils. And, the kids have to eat if the kids are going to grow up healthy. So the parents are going to make that quick. That's an easy determination. They've got to have a uniform. And thank goodness there's a group here that helps get these kids shoes, because without that, the kids have to buy the shoes to go with the uniforms. After that, there's no money. And you talk about homes where there could be 3 or 4 children, all in school age. It causes a lot of strain. And if a kid can't do a good job, if they're embarrassed about going to school, they don't have a backpack, they don't have pencils, they don't have the things that you and I take for granted and would take for granted growing up, how are they even going to compete? And why, by the way, why are they even motivated? So we started talking to different groups that we work with. I'm in the Rotary. Dr. Charles Parchment is a very well-known educator who's a member of the Rotary. And we sat down and talked to him, and he said, here's what we need, but the problem is the shipping to get it done. And that's where we said, we've got that covered with Max Shipping. Then what do we need? And it's basics, notebooks, pencils, backpacks. And then there's the other side of that. It's Christmas. So how can we give them something fun? And he said, well, there are these educational toys that are there, and they need books. Let's get those into their hands, things they can actually take home. You're not going to find a lot of books in a lot of houses here if the families aren't readers and if they have to spend their money on something else. And so we've got a list on Amazon, and you're welcome to make suggestions and add to it. But the list is quite comprehensive about the things they need. We then talked to Dave Elmore at Soul Foundation, and we talked to Tim the Varela. And Tim was with Peer. Peer advised us that we could get some teaching aids and certain books that we could get. We've got those on the list. Dave Elmore said soccer balls, baseballs, gloves, practice equipment that they don't have here. Give them things like that. So this list is pretty comprehensive, and it's online now. It's published. It'll be in a link below, so just look for it there. I don't know that there's anything else that we can cover except, well, I guess one thing. A lot of kids don't even get Christmas gifts here. They're lucky to have something to eat. And so let's give them something that gives them a chance to have a head start and move forward in life. Get an education, make it comfortable, and cover the basics, and people here can live better.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, Kyle, I like that shirt you have on.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, that reminds us, Russ.
Yeah, come on.
So everybody, when you do give for us, the first 50 people that go and sign up and donate $50, you're going to get one of our limited edition Blue Wave Radio t-shirts, as Kyle is modeling so eloquently.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, it's not like a donation. You go on Amazon, you click the link, you go choose something to buy, you put it in the list, and if it's more than $50, then it's going to end up being shipped to us through Max Shipping. You might want to know how we're going to distribute this at the end. At the end, we're going to get everybody together that's in all of these groups, and we're going to let them take their choices to pick to give to the people that are needy. That way, we're not handling it personally. And we may end up having an event, depending on if we get sponsors. If you want to help out, if you're a business owner, if you want to be a sponsor, get in touch with Russ, Kyle, or me. We'll be glad to talk to you about it. But at this point, we've got 3 months before Christmas, actually a little bit more than that. And we wanted to get a head start on this because if you wait to the last minute, it will be very difficult. Max has a window. It's usually like 2 weeks before Christmas, but it gets really difficult in the U.S. when it comes to shipping the last 3 weeks of December. And so we wanted to be way out ahead of the curve here so that we can make life a better life for kids here on Roatan and for their families.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing, Madison, to jump in, Kyle, please, you guys, everybody who's going to see this, you're not only living on Roatan, you're probably home and wherever your home is, back in the North America, Europe, wherever it is. And if it's, we've all had this conversation, all of us come from long careers at different places. This is an opportunity, whether you've been to Roatan and stayed a week, come on a cruise ship, enjoyed our island for 6-7 hours. This is an opportunity for you and your company and your corporation to really get involved and help these kids that absolutely want all of, the opportunity for an education. I mean, it's that simple.
I was really lucky and I grew up because my mom and my dad were both readers, and they made sure I was surrounded by kids' books and music. And I think back now on all the things, and they struggled to give this. And I think back on how a difference that made because because of that, I think I was always curious. I always wanted to know more. If you give a child who's got that kind of spark, that kind of opportunity, you're going to make a difference in the lives of people.
We were all lucky. Pretty much anybody that visits Roatan was lucky. We grew up with an education. There wasn't a question of if we could go to school. We went to school, and here the kids want to go to school, and we're trying to avoid the situation where not having shoes or uniform or backpack prohibits that. So anybody can reach out and assist us with this event. It's going to be huge, and we appreciate each and every one of you that donate.
Thank you. And all of our WhatsApp numbers are listed so you can get hold of us at any time. You can get through the email and also find out more information on our Facebook page, on our Blue Wave Radio TV channel, and also on our website, Blue Wave Radio Live. So I think that pretty much sums up it. If you have any more questions, please reach out. Kyle, Russ, thank you for joining us, folks. Give if you can. We look forward to hearing from you. And thank you for listening to Blue Wave Radio.